Hey, welcome in, Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
To make sure that Uncle Sam's positioned here for the first show of after Christmas, Kaye.
Sam's been moving around.
So this is literally right here. This is Sam's table. It's his table right here, Diego. It's Sam's table. So no sponsorship revenue there generated by that, but we will support Diego all the time. He's a good man down the street.
He really is.
He is.
Welcome in. Here we go. Happy after Christmas. We are very close to 2024, and we're here on episode 180. It's so good to be back. It's so hard to get back into the rhythm after you've been out for a few days, even though I say a few days. We were only out, what is today, Wednesday? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Well, it's always Wednesday here, and we were on Friday, had the weekend, and then Monday was Christmas. We weren't on Tuesday yesterday. Bridget and I took a much-needed day off. Kind of. It's the cleanup after Christmas. And then here we are. And we wanted to start the new, it's not the new year yet, but the new week after Christmas with you guys.
Last week of the year.
That's right. Monday will be New Year's.
That's right.
So we're excited. Friends, we want to welcome you in. We hope that you all had a very wonderful, very merry and happy, blessed Christmas. And great to be back on. We, again, weren't here Monday and Tuesday, but we're so excited to be back with you here. And, of course, the show brought to you by our good friends at Elliott's Jewelers. He is a supporter of our studio here, online at elliotsjewelers.com for all your jewelry needs. I know there's some jewelry thrown around this Christmas, which is always a good thing. I finally got to officially put a piece of jewelry on Bridget, so that was exciting. And then big thank you to Paul Oley, the gallery as well. And, of course, we would not be here on a Wednesday without our great friends, Kaye and Rick Boehning of Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Good to see you guys.
Good to see
you,
bro.
Welcome in.
It's good to be here. I got some jewelry for Christmas.
You did?
Yeah. I've got one of those candy necklaces that you eat.
So it's already gone, right?
Oh, no, it's still there. I've been nibbling a little bit at a time.
Have they ever invented a candy necklace so that you could eat the whole thing? I'm talking the string also. Would there be a way that could happen? You know what? Licorice rope.
But it probably wouldn't be good for you.
A licorice rope with things. That would work. But you're right, because the neck.
Well, then the beads would fall off, the candy little circle things.
Well, I think you're supposed to eat the beads first.
Yeah, but if the string was made out of something edible, it would dissolve with the
It,
candy.
it could. And the worst thing about that is, have you ever taken a little child and you scrub their neck, at the end of the day, and it's pretty dirty? That's probably what would happen to that
Sometimes
kid.
it's not the little children. Sometimes it's teenagers.
Yeah. I made a critical mistake last week. I wanted to bring it up live on the air. I got reprimanded severely. By
on
this.
the air?
Yes. Well, no, afterward. Well, it happened on the air, but I didn't see it till afterwards. A severe reprimand by none other than this fine lady in between us, Rick. It was a reprimand.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah. I remember it now, too.
Yes. Were y'all driving?
You were in trouble.
Y'all weren't driving during that, were you?
No, we were sitting at your mother's kitchen table.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to think one of two things happen. If you were driving, although you guys pay perfect attention, you don't text and drive, I know this, but you do listen sometimes when you're on the road, probably through the Spirit Radio app. I was thinking, my goodness, the cars just swerved into the ditch in anger.
No, Rick was driving.
Okay,
Or Rick usually drives.
So nothing there, but you were at the kitchen, so there may have been broken dishes at your mother's house, correct?
I
Kay?
did hear teeth grinding.
I'm going to acknowledge what happened. I was talking about the new year and children and Braylon going back to tomorrow's promise, and Caden will be with a friend, and I made a huge fatal error that is going to cost me.
You're still alive.
Well,
you might be tortured for a little while, but you're still alive.
It was mentally fatal. I accidentally said the word daycare. And, Kay, what do you always say daycare is? It's something about the grandma and what is it?
Daycare is something you take your dogs to and your grandma to because you expect them to come home alive, safe and sound during the day, but you don't expect them to learn anything. And, I don't expect to take my dog to the doggy daycare and have him come home and be, oh, he learned how to sit today. He learned how to shake, or grandma now can cite, all the presidents in order, kind of thing. And you're like, I'm going to go drop my kids off at daycare. And I'm like, no.
Child care.
No.
Child education institution.
That's right.
Is what it's going to be. Now, I will say this.
CEI.
If you take your pets to Magnolia Kennel here in Huntsville, Steph Valley, she is a pet trainer. Now, Steph will say if you bring your dog to me, it's not going to come back and learn new tricks. But if you took the pet there to her training, then yes, it would learn new tricks.
You get what you pay for.
That's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
So, but anyways,
Kay's going to send me there so I learn some new tricks.
Yeah. Rick came back this morning. It was amazing. Rick was standing, and then Kay said sit, and Rick sat down.
That's right.
Because normally we have to push him down
Did you see
by the
that
shoulders.
look of fear on my face when you said it?
Oh, goodness. Well, friends, welcome in. We want to hear from you this morning. Let us know how your Christmas went, and especially what you're thankful for this morning. A lot of joy over this holiday season. And I know it's hard for a lot of folks, too. I was talking to a friend that had told me that this time of the year is always just a tough time for them because of things that have happened in the past. And they said, we're trying to overlook those things that happened in the past, but those are things that always stay with you. And so, but we do want to let you know, and we started mentioning this a couple of weeks ago, Rick, and I don't know if it was on our Wednesday show, but I told folks that are out there listening, man, if you're going through something, reach out to a friend, let them know what's going on. And if you feel like you don't have anybody, reach out to us here at Hello Huntsville and through the show. And, I'm sure even Rick and Kay, if you're going through something, just reach out to us and we'll try to help you and guide you in the right direction. And
I know I will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kay will guide me no matter what I want to do.
Yeah, so it works out. But we want you to know that this platform is always a platform to lift people up and to encourage you. And so that's why we bring it to you. 180 episodes in, and I've got a little surprise coming for the new year. We're redoing our intro, so we're going to have with 180 episodes, we got a lot of content that we can pull out now. So we're going to be redoing our intro a little bit and some exciting things around the new year. We'll have our intern starting on January the 17th, Michelle Cardenas. We're really excited to have her here helping out. And there's just a whole buffet of things coming in January, Kay.
Maybe you could redo the intro every quarter.
Could, yeah. Could. I don't know if I have the energy to, but we could. I'm just kidding. No,
We got an intern now, so
Somebody's very ambitious. I mean, she's redoing
Hey.
stuff all the time.
There always has to be like something new. I was excited last week because we started launching this on Twitter now. We're on X. I'm always going to call it Twitter. But so we want to welcome you on. For those that are watching this morning on Twitter or X, welcome into the program. I think this is our 4th episode now that we've been able to put that on the new platform. And obviously a lot of folks joining us on the Spirit Radio FM app. I did want to give a quick update on that, by the way. Our FCC application is in. We got it in actually the first day. There was a window that opened up from December the 6th through the 13th. We have a nonprofit foundation that's going to be oversight and overseeing that. But we are very excited. We may not have an official word until March from the latest update that I was told, but that is all in motion now. And so the Spirit Radio FM app, where you hear the music and the messages, that's also going to be put out hopefully and prayerfully over the FM airwaves here in Huntsville. And the goal behind that was to, especially after the TDCJ day, I talked to y'all about, going to the Walls unit and being there and being a part of that last week. And you think about these folks that are behind bars, and some of them are behind there for terrible crimes, but there's other ones that just, made dumb mistakes, out on the street selling things they shouldn't have been. And those guys are maybe in there for 2 years, maybe in for 10, 20, 30, depending on the severity of some of this. Some of them in there for life. But we felt, what a better way to bring a message of hope and encouragement. The Bible says to reach out to everyone, and that includes folks that are in prison, that are in jail. And so we're really excited because especially being there, all those guys, and especially in the Piddler shop, they all had radios. And so we know that the message of what we're able to do through traditional FM radio is a great resource to reach folks that are behind the walls, literally, and bring them a message of hope and encouragement. I was talking about, the guys that work in that Piddler shop that they have to have an unblemished record. Obviously, they don't have an unblemished record outside the wall, or they wouldn't be in there in the first place. But we want to be able to lift those guys up and gals too, and encourage them.
Some of the things they produce are just amazing.
Yeah. So you guys have something, right? I think y'all talked about like a belt or something.
Yeah, she got me a couple of belts have my name on them. You remember the old well, you probably don't, but back in the 80s when you went country and western dancing, you had your belt with a name on it. And sometimes me and my buddy would switch belts.
Thought you were Rick while ago. Well, now I'm Bill.
That's exactly what his name was, Bill.
Can you answer this question? I'm not hating on anybody this morning. I always have to throw that disclaimer. I don't ever want to offend anyone. But what is it? Has it always been with men wearing these jeweled belts? Is that something that started like in the last 20 years? I noticed a while back I was at a rodeo, kind of a rodeo type event. It wasn't here in Huntsville, but it was guys dressed up in their nice Wrangler shirts that were starched and starched blue jeans. But I noticed like more than half the men had on these, Western belts, but they had jewels on them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen silver thread on them before.
No, I'm talking about
and then
like
the
encrusted
plate-sized belt buckle.
The belt buckle's fine. Where I start drawing the line is, again, don't get upset if you're this guy. I'm just saying, I don't get upset, but I'm like, what's up with the jewels, man? I've seen it everywhere.
I haven't seen that.
I'm going to get you one of those.
Why would I need one of those?
Because we're talking about it.
I just got him a belt that he won't wear. He doesn't want to mess it up.
You may want to wear it. This may be why, Rick, maybe that's why there's jewels on these belts now. Just to be, I don't know, to be different. See, you don't want to wear the belt now. I'm going to buy you jewels, super glue them on, and then we're going to wear our jewel. Let's do it, Rick.
Are you going to wear a jewel belt?
I'll wear a jewel belt if you do.
I'm in. It'll be a dumpling belt.
It'll be a dumpling belt. It's only for, and hey, we got to make 4 of them. So
that's right.
Anyways, maybe so. Yeah, so Tammy knows what I'm talking about. Tammy said that started about 20-ish years ago.
Well, Tammy would know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not going to sit. I'm tempted to like go look at pictures of this so I can show y'all, but we'll save that for the break, and then maybe when we come back, we'll do it. But Christmas went very, very well. We weren't like trying to be quiet about things, but Bridget and I finally, we've been playing this common law game for so long, and the good Lord put a conviction on my heart that said, you know what, you need to make this right and quit playing games. I literally posted something on social media the other day about, don't play games with God, and I kind of felt like maybe just life got in the middle of us, and children started happening. We did everything kind of backwards, and I don't encourage that, but Bridget and I just felt the conviction a while back and said, you know what, it's time for us to really lock this in officially and quit with the common law thing and all that stuff. And so we
She
had our
and I
service.
had children before we were ever married.
Yeah.
I admit
We
they were
were
not.
married to somebody else.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I knew there was a reason.
Yeah, so see, there was still some.
Before that D word, that it's not going to happen to you. You're going to.
That's
Well,
right.
wait, you're going to die
I'm
first.
here for life.
Yeah.
You're going to die before you get divorced. It's in the dictionary before that.
See, that's a new D word now, but no, it was one of those things for us that we said, we want to make a big deal out of it. We said we just need to make this happen, and we invite our friends and family. We put a link on Facebook the day of, and so we appreciate everybody that came out and celebrated a special day with us. And
I am very sorry that I missed that.
that's all right, man.
If we didn't have to go see her parents, we would have.
No,
Well,
it's
we went
okay.
and saw your sister too. That's where we were at Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he mentioned the parents and mentioned the sister.
she doesn't care.
I'm just kidding.
I seriously doubt if she's watching right now.
But
I don't know. Jaden shared links with your family, so
the heartthrob of Huntsville was very excited about being on.
yeah, I was going to ask you, did he get many calls after that show?
I don't think
From our
so.
75 plus female audience.
did you post his phone number?
I did, yeah. Posted a link to his farmersonly.com profile.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. No, he decided to stay in Emerald. He's going to fly back when he feels like it.
Awesome. Well, that was a fun trip, I bet, for you guys cruising around.
Well, I let him drive for a little bit, and I couldn't sleep, so I took over again.
Great. And the little pup went with y'all.
The screams.
Kanga
Kanga.
went. See, I remembered learning RX is paying off.
That's right.
Kanga, how did she do on the trip?
She did very well. She was just a model.
How I have to ask this because I guess with Mac and Stella, we took them all the way up to North Dakota and back. But I was thinking, with a little pup, how often do you have to stop to let her out?
About as often as I got stopped.
It's about every 10 minutes.
Yeah, every town.
I remember with Mac and Stella, we had them in the back of our Santa Fe. We had stuff just piled into that vehicle, but strategically, in case we had to hit the brakes or something happened, we knew we were going to be okay. I mean, we had everything tied down pretty well. But I'll never forget. I mean, this was before we had Kaden, but we had Braylon in her little car seat, and then had a divider up, and then everything to the side of her was just jam packed and tied down. And then the back of the car was with the pups. We bought this. Back in the day, you'd see the shell that you put on the top of a car, like a station wagon or a truck. Well, the shells are really expensive, so we just had the zip-up bag that you strap down. So we had that on top, had the 26-foot U-Haul completely loaded. In fact, so loaded that we had to give away a few things when we left Fargo because there was no way it would fit. Also had my pickup truck completely loaded, the bed, and then there's a little tarp that goes over the top that's built in, on the bed of the truck. Well, even that wasn't enough, so we put stuff on top of the tarp, then put another tarp on top of that mess, and then bundled it down. So, I mean, we were completely loaded. So it was always a fun time having to figure out how we're going to pull over and let the dogs out because they had their own little tiny, about the size of this table. And I felt so bad, but they could get up a little bit and move around, but they needed to get out and run every once in a while.
See, Kanga's 15 years old. She's content to lay in my lap the entire way.
But she's also a small little cuddly
you
pup.
can carry her
yeah.
in one hand if you wanted to.
Yeah, so
Well, we used to have 3 that we took with us all the time.
Yeah.
yeah, easier
Get her
with
2
one.
aged out.
I was telling Bridget, I said, sweetheart, I love you and I love dogs. I'm a dog person. I'm always felt like but I was like, after Mac and Stella, and for some reason the good Lord grants our pups to live like 20 years. That's a lot of dog food. The last dog was at 18. The one before that was 20. But I told her, I was like, it's a whole new different thing when you have children. I never realized it's a lot of work with children and pets.
It's a lot of work with just
the children
children.
need pets, though.
We'll always have at least one, but I was like, we can't have 2 anymore. We're always going to have at least one dog, but I can't have 2. But I love my dogs. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like I'm a dog hater.
I mean, I don't want to rush you along, but you know what's even better than being a parent?
What is that?
Being a grandparent.
Yeah, I waited a little late in the game. I'm going to be a grandparent when my child's in high school. I'm going to feel like a grandparent. I did the math the other day, Rick, and I was sitting there thinking about when I used to broadcast high school basketball in Georgetown, and these Sun City folks, that's a retirement community, they would come out and support Georgetown girls basketball. And I started thinking, my goodness, I'm going to be like the Sun City folks, but that's going to be actually my child, not my grandchild out there playing on the court. It's not a good feeling. Because you take 40 plus 18, I mean, that's 58. It's a little scary.
65.
Don't look a day over 64, by the way.
Why, thank you. Well, I'm not actually
I
65.
was going to say you're
yet.
not 65.
Pretty close. I'm spitting distance.
You don't look, Rick. Rick, you do not look. I mean, y'all. I just can't see it.
I'm not 64.
I know, but I just can't see it.
Honey,
I would have never thought.
You don't act 64.
Rick. I'll be honest with you, Rick. I mean this in all friendliness. You look like you're going on about 47. I'm going to be serious. You look like about
We're going to have
47.
to up our contribution.
Yeah, you look like you're going on about 47, man. So,
Well,
all right.
My dad always looked young. He passed away at 94, and he had a full head of dark black hair, little gray at the sideburns.
And that was it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, we're having fun here. Steph Valley, by the way, said age is a number, and I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a big number.
When I had my IT business, I always said that we'd go into these homes in Sun City, and the folks would always say, "Oh, I'm getting old. I'm so old," and they would tell me that. And it was sad because a lot of them, they had lost their spouse, and so I felt like I wasn't there just to help them with their computer, their technology. I was there to be a friend. Now, sometimes I kind of had to say, wait a minute, because one little old lady, she was in her 80s, started giving me a back rub, and she said, let me massage your back for you. And I said, let me just work on your computer, please. She was just being sweet, you know. But then she started telling me that she was lonely and lost her husband 15 years ago, and she was so happy that I was there to fix her computer. And, you know, you just develop you just want to develop a friendship with a lot of these folks. They didn't have anybody. You know, yeah. So I got to know a lot of really great folks, you know, men and women that were there. And I'll never forget, though, one lady she was sitting there, I'm so old. I said, ma'am, you're not old until you hit 109. And then she goes, well, I'm a sprung chicken then. So,
well, I'm blessed to have a large family, and we all like each other.
That's good. Bridget is joining this morning. Good morning, sweetheart. She said, wrong, we will get a small dog next. So,
Mrs. Hip.
She wants Mrs. Hip this morning. Name hasn't officially changed yet, by the way. We don't know if that's going to change anytime. She wanted me to take her last name. Have you ever heard of that? I'm just joking, sweetheart. She didn't. We were joking about that.
We had a discussion about whether she was going to keep her last name or not. I won for a change.
Did y'all do rock, paper, scissors?
No, I had a gun.
God, worked out.
I'm kidding. At that time, we didn't have a CHL.
There was a couple that I knew back in Georgetown, young couple, and when they had gotten married, I've never heard of this before. When they got married, the man took the woman's last name. Have you ever heard of that? Mm-hmm. I've never heard of it before.
I've heard of it. I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It was the first to me, and I was like, wait a minute. I thought they just got married. Why is his name changing? And that's what happened. He took her name. I guess it was something that they had discussed, you know, quite a bit.
Well, in all honesty, her name would have been easier to spell than mine.
Yours is, but once you get yours down, Boehning is easy. Boehning.
Yeah, a lot of silent letters.
Yeah.
The Q, you never pronounce that.
Well,
Yeah.
Freck's always misspelled.
That wasn't the name we discussed.
Okay.
There's the silence we were waiting for. All right, friends, we're going to step aside, take a break. We are giving. Look at this. John Volkmer showing up this morning.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, John. What is going on, man?
Good morning, muffins
Good morning.
from Brookshire Brothers.
Check this out. Good morning,
yeah.
muffins.
What a guy.
From our friend John Volkmer this morning.
Morning glory.
Well, thank you, my friend. Good to see you.
Carrot cake.
Boy, I appreciate this, John.
Without the icing.
John shows up about once a month and brings us some. He brings us some wonderful gifts from time to time. We appreciate you, John. So very great. We have our welcome friend sign that John made us. You know,
Yeah, he made one for
we
the
have
school.
one.
and Justin, y'all have one. Justin has one now too, Killingsworth. So it's pretty cool stuff, John. We appreciate it.
It's right outside the main entrance on our campus.
I love it. Love it. It's
It's
beautiful.
very cool.
We're going to step aside. We're going to take a quick break. Do want to remind you that our keyword is up today. Check this out. I'm feeling generous again as we close out 2023 this week.
So that's what you're paying people? 2023?
$20.20. You know what? That's actually pretty good, Rick. You know what I'm going to do?
Sometimes I have a good idea.
I'm going to give
$20.23.
$20.23 I'm giving away today. How about that, Kaye? You like that one?
I like that.
That was all Rick's thinking, too. So thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
Every once in a while, the sparks fly and the ideas come.
Well, did you see the fleas jumping off and eating it up
I
there?
saw the ticks, actually. So, 2023 is the key word. So text in 2023 on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Again, that number 936-339-0139. 2023 along with your name, and I'm giving away $20.23.
I'll kick into 23.
And please, for the love of humanity, would you please have a Cash App or a Venmo on this one? Because where are you going to find 23 cents along
I'll
with
be
$20?
happy to go get it if they need cash.
Well, I get to go see Walker County
Take
Federal.
$23 to deliver it.
Yeah. I'm going to charge you. If I have to get cash and bring it to you, you're going to be charged a $20 processing fee. So I'll give you 23 cents. Wow. 2023 is the key word.
Everybody just quit calling in.
Yeah. The whole viewership just dropped and went out of nowhere. So thanks for that. Again, keyword 2023 along with your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. One more time, 936-339-0139. As always, our show is on a Wednesday, brought to you by our great friends at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. They are a 501c3 nonprofit, the education experts here in Huntsville. We'll step aside, take a break. Your national news is next. A word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. This is your show as always. It is Good Morning Huntsville.
USA News. I'm Ryan Daniels. Severe winter weather continues to create challenges across the nation's midsection, and large metros along the East Coast could expect possible flooding rains today. A winter storm brought snow and ice to states across the plains and upper Midwest Monday and Tuesday, with more than a foot of snow reported in parts of North Dakota. Snow and ice shut down 200 miles of a Nebraska interstate highway late Tuesday. Snow tapers off by today, but there's also a marginal threat of flooding rain along the I-95 corridor in major cities like D.C., New York, and Philadelphia today. There's little relief at the nation's airports as everyone returns from their Christmas vacation.
Believe me, from now until the new year, every day is going to be an adventure.
Patty Mancha from the TSA mentions that travelers should anticipate lengthy queues as this travel season has set new records. Many holiday travelers are not accustomed to airports, and for half of them, this is the only time of year they navigate the airport security. Police in Denver are taking action to increase security for members of the Colorado Supreme Court following last week's ruling that disqualified Donald Trump from the state's 2024 presidential primary ballot. The Denver Police Department said it's providing extra patrols around the justices' homes following several specific threats, prompting investigations. The FBI is also involved. California Governor Gavin Newsom is pushing back against fellow California Democrats who want to exclude Trump from the 2024 ballot there. In a statement, Newsom asserted that in California, candidates are defeated at the polls, dismissing the legal ploy as a political diversion. This is USA News.
I'd like to introduce you to our new sponsor, Get the Tea. Get the Tea carries all-natural, non-GMO organic teas and supplements made in the USA. Get the Tea's ingredients are the purest available. My favorite is Life Change Tea. Life Change Tea is a gentle daily cleanse containing 12 herbs that when combined really keep things moving. I drink it every day, and my energy has never been better. I'm feeling great. Life Change Tea comes in 3 delicious flavors, natural, peppermint, and pomegranate. It's an easy and delicious way to keep your digestion on track. And for those on the go, try D365. D365 is Life Change Tea in a capsule. Drink the tea or take D365 capsules and keep your digestion running smoothly. Go to getthetea.com and enter discount code USA to get 10% off any size order. That's getthetea.com, discount code USA for 10% off your order.
Here we grow again. Tomorrow's Promise is excited to announce the upcoming addition of our 3rd location to better serve the families of Walker County and surrounding areas. At Tomorrow's Promise, we are more than just childcare. We pride ourselves on partnering with parents and creating a place where every child is respected, loved, and nurtured in the highest quality environment. See what makes us the perfect fit for your child and their needs. Schedule a tour and learn more about Montessori. Contact us today at tpms.life. 3rd location on Veterans Memorial, coming soon. Education you can trust.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why at the Color Bar Hair Salon you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
All right, friends, welcome back at it. Time 7:33. You have 27 minutes to, I always like to say that every morning. You got 27 minutes today to get ready for work if you have to be there at 8 o'clock. Don't want to end your new year by not having a job.
I'm trying to end mine that way.
Make sure that you get to work on time. And if you don't like your job, find a way to find joy in your job. You don't have to be there forever. I'll say you don't have to sit there forever, but find joy where you're at in life. You know, I mean, that's the inspiration today, Kaye. You may have I know you may have some other inspiration, but I just started thinking, you know, in order, I think so many times in life we're chasing joy. And I got on that, I got on that train for so many years, and then I finally realized you have to find joy where you're at.
Or make it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Yeah, you just have to find joy in the situation that you're in. And I'm not saying if things are going terrible and there's some huge bad thing happening in your family, I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying the workplace, you're not happy where you're at work. Find a way to find joy. You can bring joy.
We still enjoy Christmas, but our eldest son passed away Christmas Eve 7 years ago.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and it's it's hard to go through situations. I could never imagine, you guys going for someone like me going through that. I can't put myself in your shoes, but you just have to find a way to say, despite the circumstance, it's your job, and maybe you're in a position to where it's just like, I'm bummed out about where I'm at in my life professionally or whatever. Find a place to have joy. I talked to a buddy of mine in Austin that is just absolutely, he's not happy. He's been at this, I won't mention the name or anything, but he's been at a particular job for over 10 years now. And he just told me, he's like, I'm just around people that don't align with what I believe and my values. And it's the dynamics aren't there. And he goes, I really don't enjoy this job, but I found a way to find joy in it because I know that God's got something else for me. And it's been 10 years and he still gets up, goes to work. And he's not miserable, but he's found a way through all of these, I guess, situations in his job to say, but I found a way to enjoy it, even though some days I'm just like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Well, God may have him in that job to be the only light for those people that he's working with.
That's exactly what he told me, a while back, as he said, these people there's people here and there's these people that I'm privileged to work around, though, but they need a positive person in their life, and I'm trying to be that person. And so, that's the message today, friends. As hard as it may be, is find joy. I'm not telling you to sit there forever and just dwell in something that you're absolutely, if you're miserable, you need to find a way to get out, first of all, but you do have to find joy in it.
Well, see, I think you're that person for a lot of people, Rob. You bring a lot of joy when you go places.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, I thought you meant I was the guy that brings the miserable to a lot of places.
No, that's my job. Don't be taking away my job.
But in the Bible, it talks about the light, and there's three instances where it talks about the light. Two of them, Jesus is saying he is the light, and the third one is he says you are the light to the world. So he is kind of like the sun, and then we are kind of like the moon. We reflect the light of Jesus. So
that's right. Be the light. That's a series Pastor Bay's been talking about at our church too at First Baptist. That's his whole sermon series leading up to Christmas was the light. The light has come. And, you know, today, are you going to be that light to somebody? And just think about that as you go on throughout your day. Find joy and be a light to somebody else, because somebody else's world may be extremely dark. And how many know that when you're in a dark room and that little glimpse of light turns on, you can see it? Mm-hmm. One of the neatest things, and I've mentioned this several times, you know, here specifically on this show, and Kaye, you know, being in the educational business, it's so neat to see children grow and develop and how their vocabulary changes and the sentences they start putting together. And Braylon has learned the word very and the word way. So last night I'm putting her into the room and the lights were off at first. Usually I go in, I turn on the lamp, I have her little sound machine going. And last night she goes, "It's very, very dark in here." I was like, "Where did you learn this from?" And, you know, but she was right. But then as soon as I turned on the light, she goes, "Oh, there's the light." And it was so neat because it's like, here's a child recognizing the darkness, and you flip a switch and boom, the whole room illuminates.
Did she enjoy Christmas?
She had a blast at Christmas. This was, that age at like 2 is when they know what's going on now, kind of around them. It's unbelievable seeing the children running. That's why we went to Bridget's sister, spent the 2 or 3 days down there with her family, and my family got to come in for the wedding, obviously, but it was neat being around all the little cousins. That's why we came back. Mm-hmm. And it was so much joy just seeing the children, our little girl just running around happy with all of her cousins.
Well, we have a great niece, tiny little thing, and every time she got a present, she'd go, it was hilarious every single time.
I love it. You know,
I've never seen a child get that excited over any gift.
And the thing is, you know, Kaye, you and I were joking around before the show, but it's like the truth. It's like, take back all the electronics.
Yeah.
If you got, Braylon's favorite toy, it wasn't even hers. It was probably her cousin's cardboard box. They got a cardboard box castle. Man, she was loving that thing. Because it was black and white cardboard, and you color all over it. So she was having fun with that. And then she really, really enjoys. My brother had got him these Mega Blocks. I think Mega Blocks and Legos got into a lawsuit years ago.
They did.
I would assume. Did they really? I would assume that they did. Because I was like, oh, these are like big Legos. No, they're not. They're a whole different brand called Mega Blocks. But she started playing with those things, loved them. You know, we didn't get to open up some of the rest of the gifts until yesterday because we were down in the Woodlands. So we opened up some gifts that my sister and brother and mom had brought. And Braylon just went nuts over those little blocks.
Yeah.
And it was cool because Miss Brennan, my mother-in-law, got Braylon a little child table and chairs. And that's the cutest thing. And she was sitting down. She goes, "I got my own table." And then she ate at it like once. And then now she wants to go back into the chair that we have clipped onto we have one of those chairs that clips onto the cabinet. Yeah. Or not the cabinet. That'd be awkward. What do you call that? Can't even think. Countertop. Clips into the countertop. First time we ever put her in that, I put pillows and blankets down below it because I didn't trust it. Even though it felt real snug, I was like, I don't want my baby falling out of this onto the tile. Not good. She never fell, by the way. So,
did you sit with her at her table?
I sat, unfortunately, I always talk about, I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. I think we should have a New Day resolution, and I need to get on the New Day resolution train. Unfortunately, I'm the heaviest I've ever been in my life right now. It's not good. And I was very afraid to sit in the chairs. Yeah, I was very afraid. I did, but then I was like, I better not move because the wood, it's like kind of that particle-y board stuff. Mm-hmm. And if you got 250 pounds on a chair that's probably only designed for like 30 pounds.
Well, you could sit on the floor.
Yeah, that's hard. That's why my tailbone's hurting this morning. So
she doesn't realize that us men have a hard time getting up and down.
I just started thinking.
Our knees are made the same as your knees. I mean,
She can stand flat-footed on the floor, go all the way down the floor and back up again without using her hands at all.
Yeah, not me.
I hate people like that.
No, my belly gets in the way of that, man. So
doesn't have any belly.
But that 7.
She doesn't have any joints either.
Good Lord blesses us sometimes. Yeah. Well, for me, I saw about that chair. That's 7 times my weight. 7 times the weight limit. So, but I sat in it for a second. But yeah, she enjoyed it, and I think one of the coolest things too was we finally got her out of Halloween mode. She only got into pumpkins with Thanksgiving, and then she went full Christmas. And so we did. This was really fun, and maybe this morning share some of your holiday traditions. I know Christmas is over with, but one thing that Miss Brennan used to do would she would put like powder or sugar or something on the floor and make like reindeer paws. And so I went and found some flour that we had, and I put it. So she went to bed, and I put the flour. Sweetheart, if you're watching this and you're like 8 years old, Santa Claus really does exist. Whenever you're 12, we'll talk about it later. But I put flour from the door to the table in the living room, and so it kind of looked like snow. And whenever she got up in the morning, I was like, "Oh my goodness, Braylon, there's snow in here." She goes, "Snow!" and she was all excited, and she thought it was for her. It was the coolest thing ever. So, but anyways, yeah, we had fun. It was great.
You enjoy them with her that age.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Pretty soon they're cynical.
What? So y'all went to Oklahoma. What family things? I know you said your mom, you got to spend time with her sister. How did y'all's Christmas go? You've asked me about mine. How did y'all's go?
We spent a couple of days with Mom and Dad at the nursing home, and then went over to his sister's house and spent Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with all the family, in-laws, cousins.
They weren't my in-laws.
Heath is an in-law to you.
Oh, okay. Well.
So.
Most of them are blood related.
I'm saying in-laws are better than outlaws, by the way. So it's good to have in-laws versus outlaws.
When I go to her mother's house, I'm an outlaw.
Well, you're from Texas too, so.
What was on the dinner table? I mean, what was the meal?
We actually had tacos.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Christmas tacos. It was great.
Have y'all did that before?
Yeah.
So this is like a tradition, the Christmas.
No. We usually have something different every year.
Yeah, it's whatever mood strikes Karen. Karen does most of the cooking, so.
Karen,
she's in the movie
Karen is the deputy sheriff, and she has just as much energy as Kaye. It's like they're related.
I got a little bummed out because we didn't have tamales this Christmas, and I feel like every year we have tamales. We did not have tamales.
I have not had any tamales this year. I need to get with Brian and get some.
Brian, who has them?
I can't remember.
Because, see, I'm looking for somewhere local. I love HEB. HEB has, I'm just going to plug them real quick. They have unbelievable tamales. I never thought HEB would have like tamales.
The Tamale Gringo.
That's who we need to go see. The Tamale Gringo. He's in our WC. He was, I think, in our WCRC group. Or no, he brought food to it one time.
Yeah, we need to hit him up for some tamales.
So that's who we need to go see. Yeah, because
he's not a big fan.
Well, we got some at HEB and they were really good. And I have the Ninja Foodie because I'm a foodie. And I was like, my goodness, they made an appliance just for me because it's a foodie. And it's really neat. Bridget actually bought it for me a few years ago, and I only used it a couple of times, and then I found it because we had moved and packed stuff up. I mean, we moved 5 times, so there's no telling what's still in boxes somewhere hidden. But I was going through, and I found this Ninja Foodie. I was like, man, I forgot about this thing. And it's a air fryer and a steamer all in one.
Wow.
And so I put those tamales. We found them at HEB. We were actually walking out of HEB, and she got us. The lady up front got us. She gave us a sample, and I was like, sold, done. And then I said, but I don't really want to go back to the line and pay. She goes, oh, well, they can check you out at True Texas Barbecue. Done. Made it super convenient. So we got the tamales. I went home. I put them in the Ninja Foodie on the steam cycle for about, I think it was 12 minutes. Those things were some of the best tamales I've ever had. But I do need to call Tamale Gringo.
Well, don't forget me when you do it.
I'll call you.
I need some.
You're right around the corner from me, so.
Well, I need to walk over and get my car from you, too.
Delphina mentioned this, too. You know what? Bridget's right about this, too. Delphina has them over at Rodeo.
I didn't know that.
Grill.
Really?
Yeah, she does, and they're really good. Hers. Delphina has them. Tara Burnett was mentioning there. She said Delphina at Rodeo made our tamales. They were great. So there we go. And Fiesta Taqueria has yummy tamales. See, you start talking tamales and the whole world just wakes up.
You mean they weren't awake already?
Yeah. So the ones that ain't at work yet are waking up. Tamales it is. Kaye, real quick, wanted to mention what it's the national day of today. It is probably one of the most disgusting things on planet Earth. Besides reheating, we had really good food at our wedding. Elkins Clubhouse knocked it out of the park. You have to go through them, and we had, I don't even know what it is. Bridget, help me out. I can't think
back
of what
to
food.
Learning RX you go.
Yeah, I need to go back. What do you call it? Like the
casserole?
No, Bridget. What did we eat? I can't think.
Well, you turned her off the screen, so you can't.
I can't
see her.
think. It's on a 15-second delay. But whatever we had, I don't know why I can't think of this. My mind just lost it. But it was so good when we were there eating it. It was a meat, and I forget exactly what meat it was. It was unbelievable while we were eating it, especially with we put on a horseradish cream. You ever had that on a steak?
Mm-hmm.
So good. You don't need A1. Just get horseradish cream. And cook your steaks medium rare, by the way. If you go well done, it just ruins them.
It really does.
Prime rib. That's exactly what it was. Thank you. Did she just comment that on the stream? John is helping out today. John is like my Learning RX. He's like my annexation of Learning RX this morning. Prime rib and it was so good. But the problem was, and I need to call him though because I felt like we had a lot left over, but we only got like one little to-go thing. I'm like, we paid for all this, so where's the rest of this macaroni and cheese and stuff? But I reheated that prime rib last night, and it was absolutely disgusting.
Really?
I don't know how you reheat meat the proper way. Kyle would know, the brisketeer.
I had to get a refresher from Kyle when I thawed out my brisket.
But it had like this gamey taste to it. It was disgusting. So the reason I brought all that up is, and it didn't when we ate it. I don't know what it was. It was just something with the reheating process. Like Bridget put some in the microwave. It wasn't good. And I told her, I was like, I don't think it's going to be good in the microwave. Then I put some like in the air fryer, and it was terrible. That will rival this food that is the worst. I don't know what people's fascination is with this thing. It's absolutely disgusting. The words of Roy D. Mercer, you'll be doubled up on the floor with a gut ache for 2 weeks. It's a fruitcake, and it is disgusting. Who in the world likes this stuff? Rick, are you a fruitcake eater?
I am a fruitcake, but I don't eat it.
Kaye?
I know. I hang around with enough fruitcakes without eating anything.
This is, let me show this. If you're on the stream, yeah, Kyle just said, do not nuke it. And he's right, because it ruined it. Let me show you this morning, friends. It just
looks like it's been spray painted.
That just looks absolutely disgusting. This is from National Day Calendar, by the way. Who in the right mind would eat that mess?
Imagine you're getting some comments now about people who say they love it.
Well, this looks like...
There must be a reason that people eat it. I don't eat it.
I'm not trying to make people sick this morning, but have you ever had a stomach bug?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Okay, I'll go with that.
What is this garbage?
We stopped in
Fruit.
It's at the Collins Street Bakery.
This is John talking in the background, by the way. John,
I'm sorry.
No, what happened?
We stopped at Corsicana with Dr. Krim's bus on the way back from Fort Worth, and the Collins Street Bakery is there. They're the world's largest maker and seller of fruitcakes.
So the Collins Street Bakery, John was saying, stop there in Corsicana, the largest maker of fruitcakes.
I didn't know that.
Did you buy one, John?
I did not.
Yeah, this is what it's made of. Kaye, if you don't mind, I'm just going to go down this rabbit hole. We're already here. Here's what it's made of. Chopped, candied, or dried fruit. Just think about, when you eat a cake, isn't it supposed to be this nice, fluffy texture in your mouth? Then all of a sudden, you bite into hard candy?
I'm not a fan. No.
Chopped candy or dried fruit, nuts, and spices, sometimes soaked in spirits.
You'd have to have some spirits to
put it in. Yeah, exactly. Fruitcake has been a holiday gift-giving tradition for many years. It started from the great-grandmother in England who had so much leftover junk she didn't know what to do with it. She put it in a mixing bowl, and it was sweet candy, and turned it into a cake. I'm just kidding. I made that paragraph. This guy's looking at me like, what?
That's not what it says.
Anyways, if you are... oh, my goodness. They mail order those nasty things, too. Can we please just stop? I knew Jamie saw... Look, there's someone out there. Jamie Saucier says, I love fruitcake. Saucier Woodworks. Jamie, if you could ever bring us a fruitcake of choice, then maybe I'll try a bite of it live on the air and see if I like it.
I will not.
Cecilia is saying that store-bought is bad, but homemade tastes completely different. And Kyle Kreiner says, now I can get behind the spirits. Yeah, I think that's the only way that you could eat this stuff. Anyways, I don't know how we got into that, but, there we go. Fruitcakes.
Because it was the National Day for Fruitcakes.
It was the National Day for Fruitcakes. Kaye, excited. I did want to mention this morning, obviously, tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools. You guys have been rocking and rolling. The school never closes. I mean, you guys have, you have some
we were
holidays.
Closed yesterday.
You were closed yesterday, but I mean, there is no summer off for the summer, those kind of things. Third location coming along. I know still on target, trying to get this thing opened up here pretty soon, and really excited about it, though. How have things been going just for the school in general? And as you close out 2023, maybe something that you've been really proud of this year.
Oh, gosh, there's so many things.
I put you on the spot. Did you like how I did that to you?
She's most proud of her employees.
Yes.
Couldn't do anything without them.
Well, I've enjoyed, I'm so glad you said that. I've enjoyed getting to know several of y'all's employees. Of course, when y'all haven't been able to be on the show, y'all have had folks fill in, and Courtney's been with us here, and Shelby, and I'm going to start forgetting people, and I'm sorry. Charlotte was here, yes, and I've really enjoyed getting to know, those ladies. They have done a phenomenal job and been with y'all for such a long time, and I know that you're very proud of this new location coming because it's going to be another opportunity to serve even more children here in our community. And the other thing that I know, and I'm just speaking for you because I know you, Kaye, I know that you're very excited and very proud of the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Over 1,000 books now. Have you had a chance to look at the latest number?
I know Tammy updated it while I was gone. The sad thing is that every beginning of each month it drops because the children that turn 5 roll off. And so when we hit 1,010, the next day it actually went to 975. And then it's back up to over 1,000 now. I think it's at 1,003.
Awesome. Well, we need to, we'll put together an article on the website and mention that because I think that's so good about the impact that Tomorrow's Promise is making here with our young people in this community. And I want to remind you, maybe there's new folks. We do have a lot of new people that are listening to the show and watching us, and new folks that are engaging on Twitter. The Dolly Parton's Imagination Library is such an important project, and Kaye Boehning and Rick of Tomorrow's Promise, and Kaye has been just a huge advocate for this. The books are provided at no charge, 0 to 5 years old, but they have to pay for the shipping costs, and that's where you hear about these events in the community like Lasso Your Imagination and the Color Run. These are also important events because the funds raised from that go to pay for the shipping costs for these books. But friends, completely free. We just got another one in. It's some little caterpillar book with holes in it, and it's really neat. And Braylon absolutely loved it because
it's a very hungry caterpillar.
Yeah, she loved it. She's taking her fingers and putting it there, and it's really neat because she's sitting here. And now Braylon, because of these books and her love for reading, and I've helped, I'll take a little bit of credit here. I've helped foster that love for reading because we read every single night. And it's neat because she will sit on the floor now and she makes up her own stories. Mm-hmm. So we have a book. It's called My First Potty. And she likes, because we're trying to potty train her, and she loves that book. And so she picks up the book last night, and she's sitting in the floor, with her legs crossed. And she's looking at the book, and she goes, My First Potty. And she just, she knows what the book is about. She's not obviously reading yet, but she knew what the book was about. So she opens up the first page, and she starts making up a story. And it's so cute. She's like, baby went to store, got potty. And then she flips the next page. Potty is pretty. And I should have recorded this. It was the neatest thing ever. Little 2-year-old girl making up her own story as she's reading. But she's remembering how I've read the book to her. And Kaye, you've talked about all these words. I mean, by the time these children from 0 to 5, if they've read every book, I mean, it's millions of words that they're exposed to, right?
Yeah. The child that's read to 15 minutes a day will have 3 million words more heard in their vocabulary than a child that's not read to. And so we have children starting school with a 3 million word deficit just on reading 15 minutes a day to them.
And is that from 0 to 5?
Mm-hmm.
For the first time last night, I talked, I felt kind of bad because I always read to Braylon a lot, even when she was Caden's age, and just the dynamics of how we've been doing stuff. It's been a little more difficult now with 2 children, but last night I was like, we got to get Caden more involved. Bridget actually was like, we got to get Caden more involved. It was her. I'll give her credit. I'm not going to steal her thunder. And so last night, Caden also laid with us in bed. So now we're going to try to start making that. It threw Braylon's routine off a little bit because, we've been doing things the same way for so long now that she kind of got confused at first, like, why is brother here and all. But that's going to be a new part of our routine, is he needs to be involved with us as we read too. And even though those books, he has his own books too, so we'll read to him separately still. But I want to bring both of them in and read to him at once. It's a lot of fun.
At one point, she'll start reading to him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to get to, and then I can just go to sleep earlier because my vocabulary's gone. I will always read to my children. Okay, so but it's
and
a lot of
truthfully,
fun.
each one of them needs, wouldn't hurt for each one of them to have 15 minutes of alone time with you.
Yeah, so Mama will be the Caden reader. I'll be the Braylon reader, and then we'll flip flop.
Yeah.
We'll flip it, and then Rick will come over sometimes. We'll
That's right. The children love it when I read a story.
Do you read to children at Tomorrow's Promise? I need to hear this story,
He does
please.
occasionally read to the children at the school, and again, just like anytime he's in a classroom, he steals the show. I mean, he was out on the playground one time and was playing on the bus, and had as many children that would fit on the bus.
We were going to school.
And
it's a toy bus.
Yeah, the little metal toy bus. Yeah.
And all the children on the playground, except for about 10, were right over there just watching the bus ride. And then the little 2-year-olds were on the playground next to the fence, just staring. And out of all the children on the playground, I mean, we had like 5 teachers out on the playground, and we only needed one, him. I mean, they were all around him.
And you were just telling stories, Rick?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
he was on the bus driving it and bouncing up and down.
I was actually a passenger on the bus. I was thrown off several times.
I can just close your eyes and visualize Rick going like this on the bus, and then boom, and then it falls off, and he's rolling around in the playground and gets back up.
Rick was doing that because I have the mentality of a 4-year-old.
Love it, Rick. But just making a difference. Well, friends, been a fun show today. We still have some more time to go. We will call our winner here in just a little bit. We'll step aside. We'll take a brief break. Do want to remind you, keyword floating around out there, 2023. I'm giving away $20.23. And what's been really neat, Kaye, is we've had 3 people that have won the cash. They've donated it back to Tomorrow's Promise.
That is great.
Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. So I think in the last 2 weeks, we've been able to give back $60. And Kaye, you can attest the money did reach the Tomorrow's Promise account.
Yes.
So it is going there.
Well, it's Tomorrow's Promise Dolly Parton account.
Yeah.
Yeah. And $25 is what it costs to send a child a book a month for a whole year. So that those donations paid for
almost 3
children to get a book for a whole year.
That's great. Well, all you got to do, text in the keyword 2023 on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Please include your name, 93633. Yeah, I just like to see the names on there. Sometimes we get them, and the reason I like to see the names is so when we call, we know who we're talking to.
That's right. I always text my entire full name.
2023, the keyword, on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Our show's every single Wednesday, brought to you by our great friends at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. For more information, check them out online at tpms.life.
Kyle's on fire. He's got all kinds of comments.
Yeah, why don't we get to Kyle's comments and the winner when we come back? The Brisketeer of Huntsville sent them in. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come here as we wrap it up. It is your show, as always. This is Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be right back after this.
Google, Amazon, or Wikipedia? Their founders were all Montessori students. Montessori is the only educational method developed by a doctor using the scientific method for what was best for the child. Come check out our award-winning childcare schools at Tomorrow's Promise. Did you know that 90% of brain development happens the first 5 years of life? Early childhood education is the most important time of life. Come find out what makes us different and why we are now adding a 3rd location. Visit tpms.life for more information. Education you can trust.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hip here. As a guy, jewelry's not really my thing. I never know what I'm looking for. I feel uncomfortable, and I just don't understand how certain things look good together. But that's why I depend on Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Whenever Bridget and I wanted to get engaged, we said, we need to go to a place to where someone's going to take care of us. They're going to make me feel comfortable as a guy, but they're also going to take care of her needs as well. So I went into Elliot's, and he was so gracious and compassionate with my understanding, and I wanted something that looked a little masculine for my engagement band, and he said, I've got the perfect thing for you. And he found some white hammered gold that was trimmed in 14 karat gold, also put a diamond on that ring to signify my love for Bridget, and as we grow and our family grows, we can put a diamond around the rest of those. So friends, if you're looking for someone that is dedicated to customer service, that understands the needs of people and does what's right all the time, there's nobody better than my friend. It's Elliot Herzlich at Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
We just do that for the next hour.
Y'all chair dance better than I do.
That's the best dancing I do is chair dance.
You know what's sad, Rick?
What is sad, Rob?
I barely did anything just now, and I'm out of breath. I'm literally out of breath from doing this.
It's that upper respiratory thing.
Yeah, man, I've been caught. The night of the wedding, I was already feeling a little like under the weather, I guess. But then that night, as soon as we got everything loaded, I get out and I was like, man, I just feel terrible. Like just sore throat, congestion. And as the next 2 days went, today is actually the first day that I felt a lot better, to be honest, because I saw you. It's because I'm seeing y'all. So
well, I can understand
what
that.
It really is. But
I
yeah,
have not felt very good the last couple of days myself.
Well, it's the old Huntsville bug that's been going around.
Well, it's like 20 degrees in the umbrella. It's cold.
Did y'all run into any ice, any snow, anything like that?
Only once. Slid right through an intersection.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. It was wet and it did slide, but not through the
It's
intersection.
under the bridge.
It's in Amarillo, Texas.
It's making me a little nervous whenever you say, "Well, we just slid through the intersection."
Kaye and I both know how to drive on the ice and snow.
All right. Well, Kaye, I know we've talked a little bit about some inspiration today. I always love our Wednesday segments. What wisdom have you conjured up for us today? Is conjured a bad word?
No, I like it.
Yeah, I just said
conjure something.
What have you conjured up for us today?
Well, you talked a little bit about it, and I really thought about writing a post about the perfect Christmas. And but you talked a little bit about it with your attitude about your job, and you can take and have like the perfect Christmas. It's like you want to have all your family there. Well, my family is in several different places, and so even if you can try to get all your family together in one place, then you still have to say goodbye. I mean, it's kind of like you only have 2 hours to spend with this member of the family, and then you got to go to the next house, and then you got to go to the next house and stuff. And so even if you get to see everybody, it's not ever the perfect Christmas because, I think about back when I was a child, and the perfect Christmas was going to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and my other grandma was there and all that kind of stuff. But then, you get to thinking about it, and my grandmother's husband was my grandfather. I never knew him. And so you can never have the perfect Christmas because there's always somebody missing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we have the perfect Christmas every Christmas because it's our attitude and it's the gifts we got. We got the gift of Jesus.
That's right.
And the joy of giving gifts is, like watching the little ones open their Christmas presents. I mean, when I was in high school, we would go over to my cousin's house, and they would wait to open their Christmas presents until we got there because I wanted to see the little ones open their presents. And so we started that tradition when my brother and I got too old and wasn't.
And for the last 20 years, she's
magical.
had me. So.
And so, it goes again back to the attitude.
Gift that keeps on giving.
The attitude you have at work, the attitude you have sitting next to somebody. It's a little bit of a fruitcake.
Yeah, that's all right. But everybody needs a little dried candy in their life.
So that's the wisdom. It's all in your attitude.
I love that,
of
Kaye.
how you choose to look at something.
That is Kaye's Wednesday wisdom, heard exclusively here on Good Morning Huntsville. You won't get
I hear it all the time.
Well, you won't get it. Well, besides the Boehning
with
household.
the newspaper that Kyle said I should use on you.
Kyle said you should use a newspaper to train me.
Kyle, by the way, we won't get to everything Kyle said, but he did say Rick brings in the Reader's Digest. So,
yeah, he said I had to have use Cliff Notes to read Run Spot Run.
Reader's Digest is not a bad I get the Reader's Digest.
I enjoy the Reader's Digest.
Do you subscribe to it?
No, I do not. I don't
used
need to because my mother-in-law does, and
He's got thousands of copies of them.
Well, I did throw away about 30 copies of Reader's Digest.
Don't say that on the. Don't say that on the.
We don't want anybody to get angry about that, Kaye.
Well, they were from 2015.
Full disclaimer.
I had them for years.
Full disclaimer, I subscribed to them because of my grandmother. She used to, I'll never forget, they would come over to my parents' house, and they had a travel trailer. And one time, she was in the travel trailer, and she said, "Why don't you come in here and read with me?" And I said, "Okay." And I was probably like 8 years old, and I'll never forget going in there, and she was reading the Reader's Digest. And it was just a special memory for me sitting with my grandmother, my dad's mom, reading the Reader's Digest.
I enjoy the Reader's Digest.
That's why I subscribe to it today, because it makes me think of that moment with my grandmother. It's my nostalgic connection.
But see, it goes back to reading.
It does. It's all about reading.
That's
And that connection with your grandma.
We're going to have a new segment on the show, okay? It's called Nostalgic Connections, and we're going to have trumpets and like this cool intro. Dun, Nostalgic Connections. And that's how it's going to go, Rick.
I can't wait.
Sounds like a great segment that nobody's
going to listen
to.
There went all the ex-viewers.
There goes all the rest of them. Well, let's head over to our Granny Mary's Cajun. God, Granny Mary sounds so good today, by the way.
I haven't been by there. Every time I go by there, the place is closed.
Randolph, are you open today? Because it sounds good. Man. Let's head over to our Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line, $20.23. is going into somebody's bank account. And look who it's going to. Well, you're not going to know until we call them. We're not going to give that away right now. It could be a he or a she. We're not going to give it away.
Could be a them or a they.
We're not going to give it away today, Rick. We're not going to give it away.
We're not? We're keeping it?
We're going to keep it until we call them here. Because, before I say, like, oh, she won today.
You've already said he.
No, I said he or she.
No, the very first thing you said he.
Well, I didn't even go through anyway, so forget it. I guess I'm not going to win nothing today. I just got a weird beep that's like, this ain't nobody got time for that. Let's try it again. Here we go. Rick, you taking this one today?
No, I'll let you.
All right.
I'm a little hoarse.
Kaye, you want to take this one today?
Sure.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Doing good.
So, did you have a lovely Christmas?
Had a fantastic Christmas.
And what was your favorite thing that you gave for Christmas to someone?
Helping audio at the wedding.
Yeah, helping audio at a wedding. It was one of the best weddings I've been to ever. No, it was really good. I was appreciated that I was asked to help with it. It was an honor.
So, do you know who's calling you and why?
I do know why, and I do know who.
Well, congratulations. You won $20.23 from Hello Huntsville.
Yeah, congratulations. This is Kaye Boehning at Tomorrow's Promise, our phone connoisseur. Is that how you say the word?
Yeah, that's how you say it, but I'm not sure it applies in this.
I don't even know what that means. I use vocabulary. I don't read enough, obviously. Jay Elms.
Specialist.
Our phone specialist here on Good Morning Huntsville. Jay Elms. Over
I recognize the voice. I couldn't see who it was.
It's Jay Elms, Century Security, the winner today. $20.23, Jay. So congratulations, man. We'll send that. I'm sure you got Cash App or Venmo, right?
Yes, I do.
Perfect,
I
man.
have Venmo.
I love it. There you go. I knew when I saw your name pop up on the randomizer, like, all right, a guy that's got the tech behind him, so I don't have to go run to my friends at Walker County Federal.
Wouldn't that be ironic if he didn't?
Yeah, if you didn't, man, Jay, we're going to have a talk, my friend. So.
Yeah.
Well, hey, buddy, Century Security, you guys are doing great work. Do you got a second to plug the business?
Yeah, so we're just like most businesses, wrapping up the year, but still staying really busy. If you need anything, alarm systems or surveillance camera systems, commercial or for your home, we can take care of you.
Do you have any type of like Rick Boehning alarm? And what I mean by that is something that you can strap to your body, so if you move outside of a certain area, the alarm will go off.
You know what? It's something that we can definitely make up, though. We can definitely figure something out for that.
Why do you need that alarm, Rob?
I just want, like, if you try to get up and like sneak out in the middle of the night.
But why not?
Well, Rick may, like, if they're out of ice cream at the house, he may get up in the middle of the night and sneak out to buy ice cream. We don't want that, Rick.
There's no sneaking.
It's accountability. It's an accountability alarm.
It's the accountability alarm. There you go. Well, Jay Elms, congratulations. Hey, and seriously, though, thank you for helping out in the pinch. Jay ran our audio at the wedding for us. So
great.
Yeah, really appreciate you, Jay. And the randomizer's on the
pleasure.
screen. I didn't pick you because you helped me. This is the randomizer, the way the world works. So congratulations, buddy. All right, man.
All right, well, I
Jay,
appreciate you guys.
All right.
Jay, what are you most thankful for?
I am thankful for my family and friends, and definitely this community.
All right, there he is. Jay Elms, our winner. And we won't be seeing you at the Walls unit anytime soon. We had a good tour the other day, but luckily we were there just as guests. We weren't there as residents of the Walls unit.
It was
Jay.
voluntarily.
That's right. Hey, have a blessed day, man. Thanks, Jay.
Y'all too. Bye.
All right, there he is. Jay Elms, Century Security, working alongside Kevin Dixon, also has Anthem Technology. Mm-hmm. Two great guys. They've been best friends, their whole life almost. Jay was telling me, yeah. And just a great story. And one day we're gonna get both those guys on the show to kind of tell their stories. I think it'd be really interesting, as they're from Huntsville and born and raised. But I've learned Huntsville's a community that you don't have to be born and raised here for people to embrace you.
That's true. I was not born and raised here.
Have you ever been to some of those communities though, to where it's like, oh, you weren't born here?
No. But I have been to many. I've lived in several places where you just didn't feel at home.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you weren't from there or you weren't born there or whatever, it's kind of like you were like, you're that outcast. Huntsville's not that way.
No, a lot of people actually like me here. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of them do.
I'd say a good 52% of them.
At least 52.
Yeah, you're over the halfway mark, which is good.
52% or 52 people?
Oh, there's not that 52 people don't like me.
And when I was saying the 52%, Kay, I was taking that out of a pool of 10 people.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
Nearly 6 people like me.
Pretty good numbers, Rick. So, Well, great things happening all across our community. Stay connected to Hello Huntsville online at HelloHuntsvilleTX.com. Want to encourage you as well to download the Spirit Radio FM app. We are done with Christmas music. Yay! Well, is this it? Yay! Christmas,
That's great.
Christmas music's over with. Are you sad about that, Rick?
I kind of am.
I was going to run it through the end of the year, but, I was like, I just need some encouraging music again. And
I'll sing to you.
Yeah, so.
You are my sunshine. No, I'm sorry.
My only son. We're back to regular Christmas music on the station. Download the Spirit Radio FM app to stay connected as well. You'll hear a word from our sponsors throughout the community as well, and we appreciate all the support, especially Tomorrow's Promise here on a Wednesday. Look, if you're looking for a place for your child, not to just be, but a place to learn, a place to grow, a place to excel. It's not a daycare. It's not a place you drop your children off. It's a place to where your child will truly grow and excel. All you got to do is go online to tpms.life. That's the website, tpms.life. Get your child enrolled today. I know there's some openings, and all you got to do is put your name in there and go through the application process. And before you know it, your child will be well on their way to learning like they've never learned before.
Yeah, actually, there's very few. That's one of the reasons why we want to get them.
Yeah, there are a few. There are a few openings.
Just a few.
But a very few. But once that other location opens up as well, then
we'll have 10 more.
There'll be some more, and then it'll close down again because Tomorrow's Promise, 4th location probably coming right after that, right,
Well,
Kaye?
not right after that.
What I envision is the First National Bank building selling out over there, and that becomes Tomorrow's Promise Plaza one day, Kaye. Would that be all right?
Unless we get a large grant, that's not going to happen.
See, I'm dreaming like you. Kaye, you're a dreamer, but all of a sudden I just got this fire in my heart just to dream like I'm thinking of like, an Eiffel Tower type building that's Tomorrow's Promise. There you go.
We have Tomorrow's Promise Village going on right now.
But again, visit them online, tpms.life, and appreciate you very much, Kaye, for all that you do in our community. You and Rick mean a lot to us. See, this is the hug of Huntsville. Rick is just the jolly of Huntsville.
Try for that hood.
Shake and bake Ricky Bobby of Huntsville. Friends, we love you. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Our good friends from the Color Bar joining us, and then we'll wrap it up on Friday with Billy Cawthon and Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We're back into the swing of things as we wrap up 2023 this week here. And the rest of this, we should have did it today, and we didn't even get to it. But the rest of this week, we'll be talking about some highlights of 2023, maybe some memorable news and what's meant the most to you. Kaye, maybe I'll end with that thought with you. I know we talked about what are you thankful for as far as Tomorrow's Promise, but 2023 for you, how would you wrap it up? Maybe a couple of words of what you think about this year as I just throw another one at you this morning.
It's been a whirlwind of excitement.
Whirlwind of excitement.
God has had a lot more on my plate and plan for me than I ever thought possible 20 years ago.
I kind of felt like this year, too, was maybe that first year since 2020, 2021 that things have really gotten back to a more sense of normalcy. With COVID and everything else that this country had battled for so long, I really do feel like this year just things started to feel a little bit more normal again as far as that goes. Like we're not waking up and worried about, man, I got to put on a mask, I got to do this. I'm not knocking any of that stuff, but it just felt like, I don't know, I was thinking of that the other day when whenever Bridget and I were out around town and I'd walked into a mall and I said, it just kind of feels like we're back to a little bit of normalcy, which is good. And so 2023, definitely a great year. This week, share your thoughts on this year with us tomorrow and Friday, and we'll talk about this year and we'll wrap it up and the things that we're thankful for here in Huntsville.
And I will be watching the rest of this shows this year because I've always wondered what normal was like.
Yeah, well, we're back at it. Don't go near Austin because you won't know about it. That's why we moved to Huntsville. Hey, friends, we love you. Joshua Harris, by the way, Oak Ridge Disciple House, joining us. And I love what Josh said. And Oak Ridge is a big supporter of what we do here on this program. They're online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. If you get a chance, go listen to Joshua's testimony. I played it a few weeks ago whenever we had one of our rerun episodes. But Joshua Harris at the Oak Ridge Disciple House, I love what he says, Kaye. He says, dream big in the Lord. And I think you think about how big our God is, and you mentioned it a while back about like a grain of, thinking of a grain of sand in the universe, and that's just think about how big He really is.
It was not my idea to have more than one location. Not my idea at all.
Probably didn't want to be honest, and then look what's happened. So, Josh, we love you, buddy. We appreciate you. You can find out more information on their website, again, at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. That'll wrap it up on a wonderful Wednesday. Jennifer Augustinetti wasn't with us today. It was the first time. She may be out on holiday vacation.
Could be.
Maybe out on the holiday road. I love that song. That's the only song I'm going to put back into the rotation, by the way.
Good. I'll enjoy that one.
All right, friends. Have a wonderful, blessed day. We love you very much, Huntsville. We appreciate you. Stay engaged. Stay locked in all week as we continue to celebrate good things happening here in our community. For Rick and Kaye Boehning, I'm Rob Hipp, as always, reminding you that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We truly do need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you next time.